Sheamus. You know, I love it. I love it when people tell me that this is not my car. Oh, how little you know, bro. How little you know, man. Monday Night Snore. The go-home show before Clash in Paris. You know, the show with 5 matches. The show with 5 matches. A show that has now omitted Stephanie Vicaire. Why would anybody omit Stephanie Vicaire from the pay-per-view? I don't know. I have no idea. Monday Night Raw was in Birmingham, United Kingdom. I'm going to say Alabama. Not much happened tonight. Roman Reigns addresses the Shula Fala and the Tribal Thief, Bronson Reed. We got more interference in the main event. Bruce Pritchard and Triple H love their interferences. I'm trying to think what else happened on the show. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm barely alive, and we're going to try and get through this review. We're going to the beer garden, man. I could use a cold one. And when I get there on this Monday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for August 25th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. Monday Night Raw aired 3 p.m. Eastern Time here in New York. I did not watch at 3 p.m. I caught the show around 4:30. Fell asleep for an hour. Woke up, watched the rest of it. It was a pretty boring Monday Night Raw. And I said, I don't have the energy after today to sit here and talk about it earlier, though I should have really fought through that urge and just end the day of work, but I opted to just kind of sleep off the day that I had today, and we went live just a tad bit earlier than we normally would on a Monday night. So thank you guys for joining me here for this late Monday Night Raw review tonight. Not really much going on. Not really much going on Monday Night Raw. I was thoroughly bored with most of what WWE did tonight. I'm thoroughly bored of not only WWE, I'm thoroughly bored of mostly all of the Major League Professional Wrestling companies. I'm bored with AEW. I'm bored with WWE. I just don't get a sense that anybody really genuinely cares anymore. It's a problem. It's a big-time problem. WWE's had this problem for most of 2025. Tony Khan is just clueless. I don't think they really care. And they want to play everything off as if everything is great, but it's not. WWE, they have settled into this really, really, really content space. This sense of complacency on Monday night. This safeness on Monday night. And it's thoroughly frustrating to even watch, honestly. I don't understand how you could enjoy it. It's so minimal and lacks vision. And there's no excitement. You can just tell that there's no excitement coming from the people writing the show. And if there was, I think everything would be coming off a little bit different. But the fact that a lot of these people are just riding high right now because of the unbelievable prices that WWE is charging for these tickets, and people are scooping them up at record fucking pace, record numbers. They feel that they don't have to do much of anything because the people will be there. Like, why wrap your head around, oh my God, I gotta write this compelling narrative and complete story for people to be totally engrossed in what's going on. The WWE is being written by simpletons for simpletons. And the more people buy these tickets, the less WWE is going to do as far as putting any effort into the show. It's basically what it boils down to. There's legitimately nothing on this show or on Friday night. Friday's much worse. There's legitimately no major story on Friday night that would get anybody excited. Monday is just a smidgen better because they got the Vision and they got the Judgment Day. But outside that, they're not even doing anything with Rollins and the Vision. It's all the same shit. Interference after interference after interference. DQ after DQ after DQ. At least they got a fucking outcome tonight, and then they did the nonsense after the match. Rollins came out, interfered, but at least we got a fucking winner by pinfall. It's really frustrating to see, man. The vision of the WWE, of the company creatively is in the dumps. And then they have the balls to promote a Clash in Paris show, which I know was not a cheap ticket, at a much larger venue than the last time they were here in Lyon, France. This is an arena, a big one. 25,000, 30,000 people. It's not going to be a sellout by any stretch on Sunday afternoon. WWE is giving us, as of right now, a total of 5 matches for this show. There is absolutely no excuse why they can't be doing 6 or even 7 matches for this show. And I want to say that this is what WWE has been doing, but I honestly think it's what they've been doing. Also added on top of that, it's the last show for Peacock, and they don't really give a fuck. Then they'll go to ESPN, they'll put their best foot forward, they'll do WrestlePalooza, and they will really step up their game because It's their first big PLE on ESPN, and it's the same night as All Out, and they got a reason to go above and beyond and actually put a little effort into it. They don't have to put any effort into this show because people will be there. They don't have to put any effort into Clash in Paris because people have already purchased their immensely expensive tickets. I think everybody enjoyed the WWE a lot more when they weren't really being run by fucking suits and ties. Genuinely. They were being run by suits and ties anyway, but this is a lot more evil suits and ties, a lot more greedy suits and ties. I fear it's going to get a lot worse. I genuinely feel like it's going to get a lot worse. You know, I could sit here and joke. I think 2 weeks ago we did a little skit on the show. 20 things that are more entertaining than watching Friday Night SmackDown. So, obviously with today, I had a little bit more free time, a little bit extra time to kind of think about my thoughts of tonight's show. We're going to go over 15 things that are more entertaining than Monday Night Raw. Number 1, waiting for a self-checkout machine to prove your age for alcohol. Number 2, reading the ingredients off of a bottle of shampoo. Number 3, watching YouTube ads you can't skip. Number 4, trying to update your iPhone without Wi-Fi. Number 5, a 3-hour Zoom meeting that could have been an email. Number 6, Braun Strowman's Tinder profile. Number 7, listening to Jade Cargill cut a promo with no crowd noise, which is basically every Friday when she's got a microphone in her hand. Number 8, a live feed of Brock Lesnar not showing up. Number 9, an 8th grader's school play about wrestling. At least there would be some effort. Number 10, waiting for WWE to finally reveal that Chad Gable is El Grande Americano. Number 11, watching a Nia Jax match with the commentary muted. Number 12, the Great Khali reading bedtime stories. Number 13, flipping a coin for 3 hours and calling it AEW Creative. Number 14, watching CM Punk blink slowly in a backstage segment. And number 15, being stuck in a revolving door with The Miz. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to yet another unbelievable edition of Things More Entertaining Than WWE. This show sucks. This show sucks. I don't even know where to begin on this show. I'm not even going to go through an opening monologue because I don't even really know what the fuck happened on this show that is noteworthy, newsworthy to even talk about and dissect, man. Nothing is even fun to talk about. Nothing. Roman Reigns was there. Normally, Roman Reigns is a big aspect of the show. He's just there to get his fucking shoes back. They took Stephanie Vicaire off of Trash in Paris. Becky Lynch is out there making fun of Ozzy's death. More interference in the main event. More tension between CM Punk and LA Knight and Jey Uso. Penta loses to Kofi Kingston. Monday Night Raw in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. Monday Night Raw in a nutshell. We're going to go over it tonight. I appreciate you guys joining me here on the podcast. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for August 25th, 2025. I want to thank you guys for all of the support this week, man. It's been a tough week. Man. Grandma passed away last week. Today we said our final goodbyes. And it was a tough day, man. Tough day. I was surrounded by some of my family today. My uncle and my cousins, my brothers. We all went out to an early lunch to celebrate my grandma's passing. Just remember the good times, share some stories, think back on when times were good. So I appreciate everybody that's reached out to me, man. It's been kind of overwhelming, the amount of people that have reached out to me. So I greatly appreciate it. I read everybody and their messages. Thank you. Again, shout out to Jesse, as always. Solid Monster, as always. Sean Ross Sapp reached out to me personally. Ross. A few people in the community reached out, so thank you guys very much, man. Also, shout out to Joe from Patricia's today. Thank you for being a fan of the show, bro. I know it wasn't really the most ideal of circumstances to come up and say what's up to me, but I appreciate your support, brother. I appreciate that. And hopefully next time I'm there, it's a little bit more of a better situation, but nothing wrong with it, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. And I appreciate everybody that's reached out to me, man. So we're going to try and make this one a good week, man. We're going to round out August the best that we can. Super chats are open. Get them on. It's the best way to support the show. Content up on the channel. We have some really good stuff coming out of last weekend. We did Forbidden Door on Sunday. Did not like the show. I hate Forbidden Door, especially what it's turned into. I just hate it. It reminds me of a WWE Saudi show. I just feel nothing towards the show. We did a great post show. Jesse and I, we went over everything that we needed to, man. I think we did a great job on what we covered on Sunday night. I also did a video on the Rampage Jackson situation with his son, Raja Jackson. I uploaded that this morning. That went over pretty well, man. So go and check that out. And we got Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow, man. We're going to go over some Forbidden Door and talk some Forbidden Door with the Solid Monster on Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow night. So I appreciate you guys very much. Anything you missed on the channel, go and check it out. It's all there. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure you guys get those thumbs up, and it's a great way to support the show. As always, if you can't get in via the super chat, we love being in the algorithm, and every thumbs up, every comment pushes up further and further in the algorithm. So make sure you guys go and do that. We got a brand new sponsor for tonight's show. Tonight we are sponsored by Taylor. If you guys don't know what Taylor is, man, check the link in the description that I posted at the very top. You guys want to look good for the remainder of the summer, man. Taylor has got you guys covered. No commitments, no hassle. You guys can choose and get on board with one of their stylists. You take one of their styles quiz. You pick out what you like, what you don't like. Leave it in their hands. And you got some great summer outfits waiting for you right on your front door, man. So make sure you guys go check Taylor out. We'll talk about them a little bit later on in the show. Tonight we are sponsored by Taylor. Use the link in the description. Save 25% off your first month's subscription. Also, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. You guys know the deal with that. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Monday Night Raw. Let's get into it. We start things off with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is out there. Let me tell you something, man. The United Kingdom loved Roman Reigns. Crowds chanting OTC, OTC. Even before his music hit, they were chanting OTC. He comes on out. He finally spoke after a very long-winded welcome from United Kingdom. Reigns had big plans for tonight and for the rest of the year and next year, but he said he had to be honest with himself. The fans acknowledged him, but there was something that he had to acknowledge. The fans were as loud as always, like old times, but Reigns was not the same guy he used to be. Fans chanted, "Yes, you are. Yes, you are." Reigns said in response, "Maybe I can be." Cody Rhodes predicted it a year and a half ago. He said that everything would be taken away from him. He did say that on that football field in Atlanta right before Bad Blood, before they teamed up together for the first time. Reigns said Seth Rollins and the Vision followed through on everything Cody Rhodes has said. They took everything from him. The crowd then chanted, "Fuck you, Rollins. Fuck you, Rollins." And Roman Reigns says he felt the same way. Reigns didn't have what he used to have. He didn't have a bloodline. Reigns says he was proud of Jey Uso. People complained about Jey being in the title match instead of him, but Jey was the one who scored the pinfall in their match. He deserved to be in the title match instead of him. The Vision took his bloodline. The Vision took his wise man and took his titles. They ran out of things to take, so they had to find something else. He was about to bring up Bronson Reed and the fact that he's now coined himself as the Shulafala, the tribal thief. Paul Heyman interrupted with Bronson Reed. Heyman says it's been 5 years since Brock Lesnar's wise man joined Roman Reigns. They changed an entire industry together. Reigns was all alone now, but Paul Heyman missed him. Heyman loved him 5 years ago and still loves Roman Reigns today. The fans then started really singing Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Gotta love those UK crowds, man. Heyman sang Bronson Reed's name instead in the same way. Bronson Reed. He tried to lead the fans in this chant, but they sang for Roman Reigns instead. Heyman said the fans disrespected him, but they weren't tough enough to live in Manchester or rich enough to live in London. Heyman did not want to disrespect Reigns, but what Reigns needed was tough love. Heyman wasn't a man enough, or wasn't the man enough, to beat the tough love into him, but Bronson Reed was. Reigns called Heyman a dumbass because Heyman would kiss his ass after he kicked Reed's ass. Reed then gave Roman Reigns a history lesson. He said Reigns' tribe from Samoa is civilized, but Reed's isn't. Reed's tribe was exiled to Australia. Reigns' tattoos were all paid for. Bronson Reed's tattoos were all earned. Reed was the Samoan that Reigns' dad and uncle warned him about, and he was about to find out why. Reigns then says, hold up. This guy's Samoan? That means your ass belongs to me, he said. Crowd popped. Reigns invited him to get into the ring to return his shoes, apologize to the fans, and then finally acknowledge him. And then the fans started chanting, give his shoes back. Reed turned him down and obviously said no. So Roman Reigns left the ring. They met in the aisleway. They brawled. Security got in between them. Reed broke through everybody. Reed then went up for a tsunami as officials tried to stop him, but Reigns popped up and gave him a Superman punch as Reed was on the top rope. Reigns went after Reed again on the outside. They were held back by security, and they went into a commercial break. 30 minutes into the show. This took 30 minutes to get across. Like I said, WWE is settling into their comfort zone a little bit too much, a little bit too comfortable on Monday night, where we start Monday Night Raw off. It's the same way every fucking time. Somebody comes out to start the show with a microphone. We get a promo. In this case, it's Roman Reigns. Last week, it was Seth Rollins. And we just get the rundown of who Bronson Reed is, who Braun Breaker is, who Seth Rollins is, what the vision is. And before you know it, 30 minutes is up. We haven't even had the bell ring to ring for the first match yet. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but for me, it's getting a little fucking stale. It's getting boring. I don't know why anybody or how anybody could enjoy this fucking format. Is it so difficult to start the fucking show off with, I don't know, we watch a pro wrestling show every Monday, don't we? Maybe we start the show off with a fucking pro wrestling match. How about that? Break up the monotonous feeling. Break up the sameness of this fucking format. They don't give a shit. Nobody wants to see this for 30 minutes. Nothing was said here. What was said here? Roman Reigns went over. Cody Rhodes is right. They took everything from me. Okay. He took your fucking shoes. He's fighting another man to get his Jordans back. That's what this storyline with the Vision has degenerated into. Now, I will say one thing positive here. Crowd was great. Bronson Reed's got a little bit more character than he did before he became the tribal thief. They gave him this. He ran with it. It's something that's different for him. And I like it. It works with him. He's making it work. He will lose on Sunday. Reigns will get his sneakers back. And then what happens then? He's no longer the tribal thief. He no longer owns the Shulafala. Or maybe they surprise us and Bronson Reed wins, earns another pair of Jordans, and adds a third pair to his Shulafala. I don't really see that happening. Bronson Reed is definitely set up to lose here because there's other men in this group that Roman Reigns certainly should not be beating. Braun Breaker. Someone's got to take a pinfall, not named Seth Rollins, and that's Bronson Reed. So yes, Roman Reigns, in my opinion, will defeat Bronson Reed, and this is a logical match for the show. I just can't get excited about how we got there. And WWE absolutely, desperately needs to change the format of the show. I don't know how many other people are complaining about it, but I'm telling you right now, the format of the show desperately needs a change. It is not exciting to start the show off with 30 minutes of dialogue. And it's not even 30 minutes of dialogue. It's fucking 10 minutes of entrances, crowd sing-alongs. And then before they get into anything that they need to say, the shit that they need to say is not even important. It leads nowhere. It doesn't add to the story. It doesn't add another layer to the story. It's just words. And that's it. That's all it really ends up being. I, for one, can't stand it. I, for one, cannot stand it. Last week, Finn Balor couldn't find Dominic Mysterio backstage. At that moment, he bumped into Dominic, and if you guys remember, he was speaking to El Grande Americano, Ludwig Kaiser version. Balor asked him what was up. Dom said not to worry about it, and he joined them a little bit later. So this leads into the first match of the night, which is Dragon Lee versus JD McDonagh. Two very good professional wrestlers. Balor was tossed from ringside because he tried to interfere in this thing early on, and Jessica Carr immediately tossed him from the match. Fans didn't really react to this. When Balor usually does his deal here, you know, they react when someone gets kicked out of the ringside area. The United Kingdom did not react favorably to Finn Balor getting booted from ringside. It's almost as if they didn't react because they didn't want it to happen. So, very stereotypical WWE. Match starts within 90 seconds. We go into a commercial break. Dragon Lee makes his comeback after the commercial break. He hits a snap German suplex, followed by a poison rana. McDonagh comes back with a Spanish fly. Did not land flush. It looked like it sucked a lot more than usual because he came down on one of Dragon Lee's shoulders. Lee followed later with a beautiful-looking Liger bomb. He goes for a cover. He gets a 2 count. So Dominic tried to interfere here because he was still out there. Balor was the one that got booted, not Dominic. AJ Styles ran out from the crowd, attacked him, and chased him off. Dragon Lee then hits Operation Dragon on JD McDonagh. Due to the distraction from AJ Styles chasing off Dominic, Operation Dragon got the 1, 2, 3 over JD McDonagh. This was Dragon Lee's first TV win since WrestleMania season. Now, they're clearly building towards Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles, which is not taking place at the PLE on Sunday. They've already announced it on this show tonight that match is taking place next week on Monday Night Raw from Paris. So Monday Night Raw, I believe, will be held in the same venue that Clash in Paris is being held in next Monday. And then WWE will be back in the States, thank God, and we'll go about this back to a normal schedule. This match was fine. I've seen a lot of people claiming that this was, oh my God, this was such a great match. This was a banger match. Oh, man. It was fine. Not going to sit here and tell you it was a blow-away match or anything. It happened. It was good. You'll forget about it by the time next week comes around. And they're both very talented professional wrestlers. McDonagh's great. Dragon Lee's great. I'm glad that they're giving Dragon Lee a little bit of shine lately. But this match went almost 9 minutes. Good stuff. Nothing really to fucking lose a vocal cord over or pop a blood vessel over. This was a good TV match. No more, no less. Saw some people today just kind of overhyping the fucking match that this was. It was fine. It was fine. If they wanted to go more than 9 minutes, I'm sure that they would deliver an even better match. But they were only given 9 minutes, and 6 minutes of that, 5 minutes of that was TV, while the rest was commercial. LA Knight. Jackie Redmond interviewed LA Knight. He wondered if CM Punk maybe put him through the table on purpose last week. No, that did not happen. It's almost as if they don't go back and rewatch the show. Like they have no idea what happened. No, Punk did not put him through the table on purpose last week. He could say that, but, I mean, all you got to do is watch the fucking replay. Punk did not put him through the table last week. Now, Punk did accidentally get pushed into or not accidentally, he was inadvertently pushed into LA Knight, who then goes through the table on the outside, and then Punk did one of these things. Like, whatever, man, it is what it is. You were wrong place in the wrong time. He didn't want to do it, but he didn't really care that it did end up happening the way that it did. Even if it was an accident, Punk shrugged his shoulders and left. LA Knight agreed that with Punk, they should have worked together against Rollins, but Punk created an environment where that could no longer happen. LA Knight knew Punk was hungry, but they were all hungry. Knight would make sure everyone else went to bed hungry because he is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship in Paris. He found it very convenient that he was the only one from the Fatal 4-Way that had a match tonight. LA Knight planned on smacking Braun Breaker back to factory settings. I mean, I'm basically in LA Knight's corner here on this one. He's the only one before the pay-per-view that actually has a match. Why is that? I'd actually have a problem with that as well. Punk didn't have a match. Rollins didn't have a match. Jey Uso didn't even have a match. But he's out there wrestling Braun Breaker. Why? Why is that? Rusev, we got a Rusev video package. They hyped up that Donnybrook match with Sheamus at Clash in Paris on Sunday. Very much looking forward to that. It's first PLE match for Sheamus in 3 years. You believe that? Sheamus has not been on a WWE PLE in 3 years. I don't know how a statistic like that actually becomes a statistic. Ridiculous. Hopefully Rusev gets a nice reaction in Paris when he goes one-on-one with Sheamus. He could certainly use a little bit of momentum. He hasn't really had much of it since coming back to WWE. Judgment Day. They met backstage. Raquel Rodriguez stopped an argument between Dominic and Balor. Dominic said Balor has known Styles the longest and suggested he deal with him tonight. Balor got in Dom's face and said he talked to Adam Pearce and deal with Styles. After he left, Rodriguez told Roxanne Perez to be ready for her match tonight against Rhea Ripley. Styles and Balor was made official during the next segment. Dominic and Balor, man, there's a little rocky relationship there. What's going on? We don't know what Dominic was talking about with El Grande Americano. Who knows if that has anything to do with some insurance before he wrestles Vikingo on September 12th when AAA and WWE meet at Worlds Collide. I don't know what's going on. Dominic is doing things in secret. Dominic is almost coming off as the leader of the Judgment Day, while Balor needs to do what Dominic says. He's talking to Grande Americano. Balor wants to know why. Dominic doesn't fill him in on the information. Dominic is worried about his IC title. He feels like Balor and Styles know each other. Go talk to Styles. Go take care of Styles. Get him off my back if you want the Judgment Day to be at full strength. I can't lose this title. We've already lost the women's tag team titles. We can't afford to lose any more titles. Balor is not getting the same amount of respect from Dominic. There's a problem there. Penta. He went one-on-one with Kofi Kingston. Do you guys remember when Penta joined WWE back in January? Everybody was excited. Everybody was really excited to see one of the original AEW pillars. One of the original tag team pillars in AEW. Half of one of the original AEW tag team pillars, the Lucha Brothers in WWE. They started teasing Penta going after the IC title. They started teasing Penta going on a nice mid-card singles push. How we're looking at Penta at the end of August. Going one-on-one with The New Day in back-to-back weeks. Feuding with The New Day and Grayson Waller. How we look at that as an upward trajectory. It's not. I don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong. And I don't know why we're in the position that we're in with Penta. You know, you're really going to spark a conversation about how he has not done much of anything in WWE after coming over from AEW. And you're going to start getting people talking about how he was better off over there than he is over here. I know he's not. But you don't want to really venture into conversations like that. Penta is way too valuable to be feuding with the fucking New Day. Now, is there a possible direction here? Sure. Will WWE take the proper steps to get us in that direction? I certainly fucking hope so. Because after the outcome tonight, I don't really want to see Penta lose to anybody in the New Day again. They're a dead act. And you can blame Triple H for that. After their heel turn, which was absolutely fucking brilliant, the New Day haven't done a fucking thing. They came out, they got some of the best heat in the entire company going into December, into January. It started to die off almost immediately, and WWE did nothing with it. The Monday Night Raw Tag Team division is absolutely deplorable. Deplorable. There's no tag teams that I give a shit to see outside of McDonagh and Balor. That's it. You are running the risk of ruining not only the tag team division permanently, but the credibility of your champions because they have no fucking competition. We're right back in the same boat when they had the titles the last time. And it took them how many months to actually defend the championships because of lack of competition. And we're right back in the same position again. Under no circumstances should Penta be losing to Kofi Kingston. But here we are. Here we are. Grayson Waller's on the outside getting people to sign a petition to cancel the Mexican Destroyer. This is what we're doing on Monday nights, folks. This is what we're doing on Monday nights. We're signing petitions to cancel the fucking Canadian Destroyer. New Day came out wearing all black. They continue to mourn their tag team title loss, which, I mean, how long ago, chat, did that happen? That had to be, what, 2.5 months ago? They're still mourning the loss of their tag team championships 2.5 months ago. Xavier Woods is out there with a black neck brace. Now, I don't think he's really injured, but I do think that it's being played up for effect for what Penta did to him. Penta set up for a flip dive early. Kingston sprinted away up the aisleway, and they went to a commercial break. Kingston took control during the commercial break. Back body drop to Penta on the announce desk. Penta barely made it back in at the count of 10. Penta starts making his comeback. Corey Graves wondered what Michael Cole meant when he said it would be embarrassing if the New Day lost to Penta again for a second straight week. Why would it be embarrassing for the New Day to lose to Penta? It's not really a way that you want to articulate how good Penta is. It would be embarrassing for the New Day to lose to Penta? Who says that? They traded moves back and forth. Penta, he was going for a Canadian Destroyer, but Kingston countered it with a back body drop. He followed with a famouser on Penta. Goes for a cover, he gets a 2. Penta, he slightly botched a Rana off the ropes. So instead he hits a superplex to bring Kingston down instead of the Rana. Penta followed with a Penta driver. Kingston kicked out. I don't know if anybody has kicked out of the Penta driver yet, but Corey Graves says that was the first time anybody's kicked out of the Penta driver since Penta joined the WWE. Penta kicked Waller in the face. His clipboard and papers went flying everywhere because he, like I said, was trying to get people to sign a petition to cancel the Canadian Destroyer. He hits Kingston, does Penta and Woods with a flip dive. Penta went to the ropes for a Destroyer. He was distracted by Waller. Kingston tripped Penta off the ropes. Hit Trouble in Paradise for the 1, 2, 3. And the crowd in the UK goes mild. I don't know what we're doing here exactly. I think the last time we saw Andrade and Phoenix together was SummerSlam. I thought Andrade and Rey Fenix were on their way to becoming a solid tag team act on Friday Night SmackDown. We haven't seen them since that ladder match. I guess they're no longer a tag team. I don't know. Andrade is a singles guy. Phoenix is a singles guy, but if you're going to team Phoenix with anybody, it should be his brother Penta. Now, I don't know. WWE has this thing where people show up on whatever fucking show they want to, so I don't see why Penta can't show up on Monday night, or Phoenix, rather, show up on Monday night and team with Penta, or Penta go over Friday and team with Phoenix. You would think that this is where it's leading. I just don't know. WWE does what they want, when they want, and with who they want. LA Knight randomly shows up on Monday Night Raw. He's in the fucking world title picture. Not a single mention of LA Knight being officially moved. How? To Monday Night Raw. Was it a trade? Was there a transfer window that opened up in the middle of the night and we don't know? Sami Zayn shows up on Friday Night SmackDown. We don't know exactly what's going on. We are left to determine that maybe LA Knight and Sami Zayn were traded up 1-for-1. Chelsea Green shows up on Monday. She shows up on Friday. She shows up on Tuesday. Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis are on every fucking WWE show that there is. Why do they have a hall pass for all 3 shows? Nothing really is explained. I would love for you to not insult my intelligence, and I would love for somebody there, whether it's Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, or the commentary team, to tell me what the fuck I'm watching. The fans, or us in general, me, you, and everybody else that watches this show, should not have to determine and come up with their own theories about why things are happening on the show. You write the show. You should be telling me why things are happening. Phoenix should be able to show up because everybody else has broken the fucking rule. So why not Phoenix? The only one that makes sense here, because there is a numbers game. There is a numbers game. It's Woods and Kingston and Grayson Waller. Penta is 1. Now, Phoenix obviously is the clear-cut favorite to back his brother up. I think that would be great. The Lucha Brothers versus the New Day. Sign me up, bro. Let's make it exciting. But then you got this Grayson Waller edition. The numbers game is still in the New Day's favor. This reeks of WWE. I believe, if you guys remember, there was a moment where WWE was feuding the New Day with Rey Mysterio. This was supposed to be something leading into WrestleMania. And then all of a sudden the plans got switched and the New Day wrestled the War Raiders. Yes, that went off beautifully. And people gave so much shit about that, right? Sure. They dropped it out of nowhere. And Rey Mysterio was supposed to wrestle Grande Americano. We didn't get that match. We got Rey Fenix instead against Grande Americano. Rey Fenix wrestled Chad Gable on WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio got hurt. I don't know when Rey Mysterio is about to come back. He's hopefully due to come back relatively soon. The numbers game is still in the New Day's favor. I could see them just going back on what they planned to do well before WrestleMania and see it play out now. Penta, Phoenix, and Rey Mysterio versus the New Day. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Grayson Waller. But I do think Penta is going to need backup. I think the backup is his brother Phoenix. It should be. And then the extra backup would be Rey Mysterio. I think that works out. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but anytime the New Day is on my TV, man, it is instant channel-changing heat. They are awful. And I hate saying that because the New Day's fucking great when they want to be. WWE Creative has done them absolutely no fucking favors. We got a $100 super chat here from my guy, Catch22. JD, condolences to you and your family. May your grandmother rest in peace. Condolences to everyone else for having to sit through Monday Night Raw tonight. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you very, very much. So, yeah, I could see Phoenix being that guy. I could see them potentially doing that at WrestlePalooza. Would make sense, right? Using the Lucha Brothers against AEW, going head-to-head with AEW, man, just sounds like something WWE would do. Maybe we get Rey Mysterio involved. We get some six-man tag team action eventually. It'll be the Luchas versus the New Day and Grayson Waller. We'll see what happens. Io Sky approached Rhea Ripley backstage. She thanked her for having her back last week. She respected Rhea Ripley, but Asuka and Kairi Sane were her family. They didn't like that Ripley got in her business, so they should keep their distance for a while. They hugged. They embraced. They're good friends. Going to take a little bit of a time away here. in the background, in the distance, I love the way that this was shot. You saw Asuka flipping the fuck out, man. Her arms in the air. You can just see that she's really agitated and really angry. Asuka and Kairi Sane appeared in the background and watched all of this take place. They watched Io hug Rhea Ripley. So they stormed out. They stormed away from the background. Rhea Ripley understood Io's sentiment, and she was about to leave. And like I said, Io pulled her back in for a hug. Now, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if WWE is going to add a sixth match. I don't know what they're doing. A lot of this has to do with what WWE's plan is for Stephanie Vaquer. We'll talk about that when we get there. I think we're headed towards a tag team match of sorts. Kairi and Asuka versus Io and Rhea Ripley. I think WWE is probably going to set that up for WrestlePalooza. I don't know why we don't have Rhea Ripley on Clash in Paris. They could very much do that if they wanted to and add a sixth match to Sunday's show. I don't know if they will do that because as of right now, there's only one women's match. And that is the Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch match for the Intercontinental title. We'll see what happens. But I do think that leaving Rhea Ripley off of Clash in Paris is kind of a head scratcher for WWE. Oh my goodness. Tyler Marine with a $100 super chat. Hey, JD, just want to say thank you for what you do for us. I know I've been away for a while. Life has been crazy, but just know I'm keeping sane. To everyone that struggles with mental health, seek help. Support each other. Love y'all. OTS for life. Tyler, thank you for joining us here tonight, brother. We really appreciate you, man. Glad to see that you are well and back in the OTS Beer Garden before we close up shop in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's a head scratcher for me, man, that Rhea Ripley is not booked on the show. They may add something. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We still have a Friday Night SmackDown to get through. But I do think that Io and Rhea Ripley are headed for a match with Asuka and Kairi Sane, more than likely taking place at WrestlePalooza. WWE is going to load up that WrestlePalooza show. Load it up. There was a video package of Naomi's announcement from last week with highlights of her on Stephanie McMahon's podcast announcing that her and Jimmy are pregnant and with child. Love Naomi. Wish her nothing but the best, and hopefully she gets back very, very soon. Adam Pearce. He's in the back with Stephanie Vaquer. They did this all very strategically. We talk about Asuka, Kairi Sane, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Naomi's video package with the pregnancy announcement, and then into Stephanie Vaquer. Adam Pearce informed Stephanie Vaquer that she was still the number one contender, but her match is not happening in Paris. Pearce asked her to give him a week to find her an opponent. Now, Stephanie was disappointed she wouldn't be wrestling in Paris, but she said when Pearce is ready to find her opponent, she will be ready to win the championship. The only reason why WWE Chat pulled Stephanie Vaquer from this show is so that they can do this match at WrestlePalooza. I don't know where WWE goes with the number one contendership. Obviously, it's Stephanie, or everybody thought it was going to be Io. The most logical choice here was Io. Io is clearly in a position to team with Rhea against Asuka and Kairi. I think that is the direction. Now, it did make sense for Io to be in that match with Stephanie, and if that was going to take place on Sunday, it probably would have been the best match of the entire night, by far. I'm a little disappointed we're not getting that because it did make the most sense. Io was owed a championship match against Naomi. That did not happen. Naomi vacated the championship due to the fact that she is pregnant, and Io did not get her championship match. Stephanie Vaquer was waiting and waiting and waiting for WWE to come up with a replacement for her because she won the number one contendership at Evolution because she won the Evolution Battle Royal. And she's been waiting ever since. She hasn't even been on the show. WWE waited on a decision that was as simple could be to come up with a solution for. But they did not do it. Io is the easiest choice because it makes sense. I just don't know if WWE is going to do Io. Like I said, Io and Rhea are going to be embroiled in a tag team match, it looks like, with Asuka and Kairi. If it's not Io, who else is there? I mentioned Roxanne. Is WWE going to go and do Roxanne Perez versus Stephanie Vaquer for the WWE Women's World Championship? I don't know. I think WWE giving the titles to Stephanie Vaquer is a mistake. I do. You can sit there and claim that she's ready. She's the one. She's going to look great with the championship. Let's give it to her. Let's build her. Blah, blah, blah. It's too soon. It is way too soon to give the championship to Stephanie Vaquer. Someone like that needs to be nurtured and cultivated and just built. She hasn't been on the show since Evolution. She's been such a non-factor. Why are we giving her the title when WWE hasn't put her in front of an audience where we grow to love her week by week by week by week? If they give her the championship, they are forcing something to happen for all of the wrong reasons. Let's build up the championship for her to win it when she's ready. It's got to be the right time. It's got to be the right moment. It's got to be the right place. That moment should take place at WrestleMania against Rhea Ripley. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's the match. There is no other woman on this roster outside of the names that I mentioned. Io, Rhea, those are easy. Naomi's out. Lyra. Nobody wants to see Lyra. Becky has the Intercontinental title. Nikki Bella's tied up with Becky Lynch. The only other name I could see taking this spot is Bayley. That's it. I don't know if it's going to end up being Bayley. But Bayley has this situation going on where she might be coming back with a split personality. Stephanie's a babyface. If Bayley comes back as a heel and wins the championship, I think WWE's got the right recipe there as far as the heel babyface dynamic, because Bayley's a great heel if she wants to be a heel. Again, that might be too soon as well. They're just going to throw her out there and have her win the championship? I don't know. But as of right now, there is no one else. There is no one else. Everybody else is going to be off doing something else. Their own program. It's either Roxanne or Bayley. Io could still be the choice. We don't know. But I do think that Io and Stephanie, even though it does make logical sense, I do think that they're building towards something with Io and Rhea Ripley. And I do think the two championship matches that we're going to be getting, or the two women's matches I think we're going to be getting at WrestlePalooza, is Rhea, Io versus Asuka, Kairi, and then Stephanie versus whomever. That gives Bayley, if it is Bayley, 3 weeks to build to a match with Stephanie Vaquer. And if Bayley goes over, then you got the makings of a situation where you can have Rhea Ripley take the title off of Bayley, or Io take the title off of Bayley, and Bayley would be a good heel. Stephanie gets built up even more. Stephanie possibly wins the Royal Rumble. Stephanie goes to WrestleMania, takes the title off of whomever the champion is at WrestleMania, and that'll be the proper setting for her to do that. But right now, it's very difficult for me to come up with anybody else but Io and Bayley and Roxanne. I've been pushing for Roxanne. I think Roxanne is great. Again, only time will tell. But the reason why this match is not happening, and they should absolutely add a sixth match to Clash in Paris. The only reason why this is not happening is because WWE is going to load up WrestlePalooza. I don't actually mind it that we'll get at least 3 weeks of build, potentially, for a championship match. We'll see what WWE comes up with. They said they got one more week. We'll see what WWE comes up with the next 7 days. Becky Lynch. She had a segment with Nikki Bella. Becky Lynch comes on out like she did on SmackDown. She played babyface for a brief moment before quickly turning on the UK crowd, just like she did the Dublin crowd. I actually enjoyed Becky's segment on Friday night. It was probably one of the more entertaining aspects in a very dull episode of Friday Night SmackDown. I thought she handled herself well. I thought she got great, genuine heat. She called Birmingham a dump, just like Nikki Bella is a dump. They advertised this as Bella calling out Lynch, but Lynch didn't plan on getting called out like a dog by anyone. Nikki comes on out, and I will say, not the biggest fan of Nikki Bella, but I do think that Nikki very much held her own in a very good way on the microphone here tonight against Becky Lynch. She sounded a lot more comfortable. She sounded a lot more confident. And that's a good thing to see, because I do feel that when you see Nikki Bella out on TV with some of the current women in this division, she just sticks out like a sore thumb as if she doesn't belong. You just get a sense that she is the old guard. She's that diva era that doesn't necessarily fit with the current crop of women. I thought she sounded good tonight. If you guys want my fucking honest opinion, I thought she sounded very good tonight. She comes out, she said if Lynch wasn't a dog, then she should stop acting like a bitch. Nikki suggested Lynch give her a title shot. Lynch said, well, I'm not about to give out title shots, especially to broke neck Barbie. Nikki said she kicked her ass last week, and thanks to her trailblazing, Lynch had a page to write history on. Lynch credited Nikki and her better twin for blazing that trail and bringing in a new audience, but frankly, I just don't give a shit. Lynch never wanted to respect Nikki. She wanted to replace her, and she's done a pretty good job of doing so. Nikki said Lynch was afraid to face her. Lynch was once called Charlotte Flair's little sidekick. Lynch said she was no one's shadow. She was the greatest of all time. Even Sports Illustrated thinks so. Nikki didn't care what Sports Illustrated thought of Becky Lynch. She cared what the people thought and the people who made Lynch. So Lynch came off as desperate. Everyone could see it, says Nikki. Crowd tried chanting, Becky's desperate, but she cut them off. Becky Lynch knew the fans were trying to take over, and she called it classic British behavior and wondered if 800 years of oppressing the Irish wasn't enough for them. Nikki wondered if the man lost her balls. Lynch assured Nikki Bella that she has balls. I have balls, she said. I don't know if Rollins is going to take kindly to that, if that is factual information. Or maybe he will. I don't know. I would hope not. I would hope not. Just for Rollins' sake. Nikki said Lynch was cheap. And another C word. She said Becky was another C word. A coward. Now, Becky Lynch thought she meant the other C word. And what Nikki Bella called her is a lot worse than the other C word, which I rarely say. I'll say everything else, but I will rarely say that. Becky Lynch agreed to a match in Paris because she wouldn't wrestle in Birmingham. The only thing to come out of Birmingham died a month ago, but at least Ozzy Osbourne had the sense to move to LA first. A little too soon to be making fun of Ozzy Osbourne. It's a little too soon. Nikki knew why Lynch was so mad. No matter how hard she tried, her name would never be big or as big as Bella. Nikki said she would win the title in Paris. Becky went for a cheap shot. Nikki blocked it, decked her, and then Lynch bailed before Nikki could hit her finish. This was actually very good. This was actually very good. Again, I'm not the biggest Nikki Bella fan, but I really feel that she held her own here. I thought she went toe-to-toe with Becky Lynch very well, and she sounded very confident in doing so. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm excited about this match, but I do think the environment's going to be really fun in Paris, and I do think that Becky Lynch, if you want anybody to bring Nikki Bella to a fucking admirable match, it's going to be Becky Lynch. Becky's not losing the title. Something for Nikki Bella to do in the interim, and it's fine for an undercard match on the PLE. CM Punk. He was interviewed by Jackie Redmond. He says he didn't put Knight through the table, but he also didn't care that Knight fell through the table because he was a clumsy idiot. Punk wasn't just hungry, he was obsessed with holding the championship. It was ripped from him by Seth Rollins. Punk warned all three of his opponents that he would cripple them if he had to and walk out of Paris as champion. He finished his promo by saying his name in the same way LA Knight says his name, CM Punk. Yeah! Just like Rusev earlier in the night, Sheamus got a video package hyping up and promoting the Donnybrook match on Sunday. He said Rusev's return was a superstar return that no one wanted or no one asked for. Rusev lost his love for the game. He was passionless, speaking from a darkened room and acting like a bully. No, the only thing passionless that I see is this show Friday night and the one on Wednesday. That's what I call passionless. Sheamus noticed that Rusev had woken up in their recent battles and won back his respect. Sheamus wanted the old Rusev back, and they would have a banger in Paris. I wonder if what Sheamus said here is going to come to fruition. I wonder if that was exactly what I had been pitching for weeks now. He noticed that Rusev had woken up in their recent battles and won back his respect. Sheamus says he respects Rusev. He wanted the old Rusev back. I genuinely wonder if what I said weeks ago is going to happen on Sunday, that they will beat the respect out of each other and eventually join forces. A Sheamus-Rusev tag team on Monday night could be a thing of beauty, bro. Not only would the tag team division be aided, much needed, but Rusev is going to be better off for it by working next to Sheamus because everybody loves Sheamus. I think that's the right way to go. Nobody wants to see a Rusev solo run right now. Sheamus is not really doing much of anything. I'd love to see him eventually go after that IC title. But I think a tag team with both of them is the right way to go. Rhea Ripley. She went one-on-one with Roxanne Perez. Raquel Rodriguez was out in Roxanne's corner as usual. Fans started singing Rhea Ripley's name. This was in the tune of We Will Rock You. Rhea Ripley. You guys are fucking crazy, man. I swear to fucking Christ. The UK, man, I swear to God. This is why we need a WrestleMania in the UK, bro. Seriously. And here we are thinking that the Saudis are getting a UK, the Saudis are getting a WrestleMania first besides the UK. Can't happen. The UK absolutely deserves a WrestleMania at Wembley before the Saudis do. Gotta love it. Perez held her own in this match, man. WWE is incredibly high on Roxanne Perez. You know that they're high on Rhea Ripley, but they are high on Roxanne Perez. And I say this every single week since, she's starting to get more and more TV time. How brilliant of a decision was it to put Roxanne Perez in the Judgment Day? It's going to be great when Liv Morgan comes back, man. Things are really going to heat up. But Roxanne Perez has fucking killed it in the Judgment Day. Killed it. She's great. So we got an early distraction by Rodriguez, which allowed Roxanne to take over with a suicide dive. We go into a commercial break with Rhea Ripley's leg being worked on. And Roxanne spiked her with a DDT. Another distraction by Rodriguez allowed Perez to bring Ripley off the top rope with a Hurricanrana. Perez followed with a double knee drop. She goes for a cover. She gets a 2 count. Ripley followed with a Razor's Edge. Running kick for a 2. Ripley knocked Rodriguez down, blocked the pop rocks by Roxy. Hits a riptide for the 1, 2, 3. So we got about 6.5 minutes of TV time here. Rest of it was in a commercial break. After the match, Rodriguez attacked Rhea Ripley. Ripley fought her off, but an assist by Perez allowed both her and Rodriguez to take Rhea Ripley out. Io ran out to make the save and sent Rodriguez out of the ring with a missile dropkick. Ripley hugged Sky as they smiled with Roxy and Rodriguez retreating. Maybe that's the match for Paris. Maybe we get Rhea Ripley and Io versus Roxy and Raquel. Could be a great undercard match. I think that would go off well in Paris. I just find it to be rather weird that Rhea Ripley's not being booked for Paris. Like, why would you leave her? She's the most over individual on the entire roster. Like, why would you leave her off? Maybe that's what we're going for here. I think a 6th match needs to be added. I do. Tired of these 5-match PLEs, man. There's just not enough there. You guys ever go to a restaurant and they give you fucking a portion and you could absolutely eat like another half of that fucking same portion? It happens to me when I go to Chipotle. People are weird when I say this. Every time I go to Chipotle, man, or I get a burrito bowl or a burrito from Chipotle, I still feel hungry afterwards. As if they didn't put enough in the burrito. Or a rice bowl from Chipotle. I eat it, I'm still fucking hungry. I'm like, I can eat another third of this same bowl. They're not giving you enough to whet your appetite. You're still hungry afterwards. Like, I get that's what his motto was with Black and Gold. But I just feel like we need an extra 6th match on this PLE or on any PLE. 5 matches is way too little. One show is doing fucking 9, 10, 11 matches, and the other one's doing 5 matches. One does too much, the other does too little. There's no middle ground with these fucking companies. I need a middle ground, bro. Give me 6. WrestlePalooza may end up being 7 just for the simple fact that they're on ESPN and they're going head-to-head with AEW. They'll probably give you 7, 8 fucking matches. They're going to treat this thing bigger than fucking SummerSlam. 7 is the sweet spot. Yes. 7 is absolutely the sweet spot. Seth Rollins, he's backstage. He's psyching up the vision for Braun Breaker versus LA Knight later on in the main event. Io, we go to Io Sky. She checked up on Rhea Ripley backstage. As soon as Rhea Ripley left, an angry Asuka confronted Io as Kairi Sane held her back. Asuka told Io to stop talking to Rhea Ripley. Asuka then left. Sky asked Sane to trust her. Kairi looked sad, told Io she was sorry, and she went to go be with Asuka. I don't know who is in charge of this storyline, man, but this is a good, simple type of storytelling because, like I said last week, all of these women have something to do with each other. Io, Asuka, and Kairi, they were all in the same stable together, so there's history there. Io and Rhea have a mutual respect for each other based and born off of the fact that Rhea can't beat Io, and they're both going after the same thing. They're both helping each other to get back to the same place together because they both want that match together. They both want the world championship, and they would love it to be against each other. But they're also very good friends. There's a mutual respect there. Asuka is just jealous. This is The reason why this is working so well is because this is something that everybody has been involved in at one point in their life. Feeling of jealousy. This is why it connects. WWE would be better off if they actually used more real-life human emotion for their storytelling. That's what people care about. That's what people want to see. This is not the biggest storyline on the show. Not even close. But the simple fact of the matter is, outside of everything that we got going on, the one thing that feels most real and most genuine is this. Because it's a real-life human emotion. And I appreciate that. I don't know when this match is happening. Like I said, I think that they'll probably save it for WrestlePalooza. Though I said countless times in this podcast already, I just find it to be a head-scratcher that Rhea Ripley is not booked for Clash in Paris. Maybe she will. We got 6 days. AJ Styles, he went one-on-one with Finn Balor. Imagine AJ Styles and Finn Balor going one-on-one and they only got 8 minutes. 4.5 of which was TV time. The other was commercial. Apparently, this was their 5th ever singles match. They wrestled back and forth for a few minutes. Balor dropkicked Styles off the apron. Styles is in control before we go to a commercial break. Comes back from the break. Styles blocked the crossbody, hits a backbreaker, fireman's carry, neck breaker, cover, 2 count. Balor comes back with a sling blade, dropkick into the corner. Styles avoided the coup de grace. Styles eventually fights off Balor with a series of counters, and he got a Styles clash on Balor for a very clean 1, 2, and 3. AJ Styles beats Finn Balor in about 8 minutes, 4.5 of which was TV time. I mean, I don't really understand why. This was very basic. I mean, the match happened, we got a clean winner, and then on to the next segment. Nothing really happened here. I guess the whole thing is Balor did not take care of AJ Styles the way Dominic had wanted him to. Now we got to wait till next week to see Dominic's reaction to Balor losing to Styles after Dominic wanted Balor to take care of the guy that's coming after his IC title. Jey Uso. Backstage with Roman Reigns. Uso, he was all angry. He's all hyped up. Roman Reigns is there. Reigns warned him, listen, never trust CM Punk. Reigns also wondered why Jey was so uptight. He told him, stop helping people. You've helped enough people. He's helped Reigns. He's helped their family. He's helped the locker room. And he's helped the company. It's time for Jey to do something for himself. It wasn't about being one of the boys or making friends. It was about cashing in on the moments and locking in your legacy. Reigns said that was his perspective from the way he saw it. It was up to Jey to be Jey. Yeet. See, when Roman Reigns is on TV, man, and he's given segments like this, it just makes just a small portion of the show matter that much more. This was a good segment. Bayley. There was another Bayley video here. She's definitely hearing her inner voice. We're getting Bayley torn between role model Bayley and heel Bayley. Ding dong, hello, Bayley. We hear the audience. The audience can hear everything that's going on in this vignette. They're reacting to it. Tonight's segment started with a younger version of Bayley talking to her before her evil version interrupted the good version. The two voices argued until the real Bayley told them to stop arguing. Oh, she's definitely going Two-Face here. She's definitely going into a schizophrenic fucking character. Might be good for her, man. Backstage, we got Lyra talking about Bayley and what we just seen. She asked Adam Pearce if they had checked on Bayley or if there was an update on her medical condition. He said he has called her, but there is no official status, and he promised an update soon. We may be getting Bayley versus Stephanie Vicaire for the WWE Women's World Championship. We'll see what happens. It's either Bayley, Io, or Roxanne Perez. Judgment Day. They confronted Adam Pearce. And it was about AJ Styles. Dominic wanted things to end with Styles. Pearce agreed. So he put Dominic in a match against AJ Styles next week on Raw in Paris for the Intercontinental Championship. Balor was selling in the background after just wrestling, but he looked up and smiled when Pearce made the announcement. Balor doesn't give a shit about Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio should absolutely lose the Intercontinental title. AJ Styles should be the new Intercontinental Champion. And I would have Dominic win the AAA Mega Championship from Vikingo on September 12th at Worlds Collide. Give up one, win the other. The IC title is doing absolutely fuck all on Dominic Mysterio. Get it on AJ and give him what is widely known as the Workhorse Championship. I like it. They ran down the Clash in Paris card. Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns. I'm assuming for the Jordans. For the Shulafala. Sheamus versus Rusev in a Vince McMahon good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. I'm sure we'll see the wooden bar and the whiskey barrels outside. John Cena versus Logan Paul. Great fucking segment on Friday Night SmackDown. They fucking killed it, man. Such a great segment with those two. Literally the only reason why to watch Friday Night SmackDown, literally the only reason to watch SmackDown was that segment. Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella for the Intercontinental Championship, and Seth Rollins defends the World Heavyweight title against CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight in the main event. We need one more match. One more match. Braun Breaker started walking through the back on his way out to the ring for his match with LA Knight. Roman Reigns, suddenly shoved him into some production boxes. Bronson Reed tried to get involved. Reigns knocked him down with a Superman punch. Reigns was taken away by security. Adam Pearce told Braun Breaker he still had a match. Doesn't matter what happened here. Breaker wasn't pleased to see Adam Pearce tell that to him. LA Knight jumped in to attack Braun Breaker, and they started fighting out to the stage. You see, this is what I like. It breaks up the monotony of this show. Instead of getting the fucking intros with LA Knight and Braun Breaker and the bell rings, we got something that played out in the back that doesn't give us the stereotypical entrances for both guys, and we get a little bit of chaos leading into the main event. I don't want to see that every week, but I like when the norm is broken up. I do. So LA Knight continued to beat up Braun Breaker before the match, tacked him around ringside. They entered the ring, the bell rings, the match officially started. LA Knight attacked Braun Breaker for a good 5 minutes before the bell actually started. Braun Breaker does make his comeback here. We go into a commercial break, as he does. We come back from the break. Braun gave LA Knight his Frankensteiner. LA Knight slipped out of a big slam and hits a DDT on Braun as a counter. LA Knight makes his comeback here, hits a neck breaker. Braun cuts him off quickly, went for a running spear. Knight booted him in the face. Braun now is up on top. LA Knight leaps to the top with his jumping acrobatics and brought him down with his big superplex. LA Knight then followed up with a big elbow drop off the top rope. All of a sudden, Seth Rollins' music hits and we hear, "Burn it down!" I'm like, bro, can we go one night without a fucking interference? He ran down to ringside wearing the World Heavyweight Championship. LA Knight chased him around ringside like a fucking geek. He ran into a spear by Braun because LA Knight's a fucking geek. All of a sudden, the crowd started chanting for CM Punk. He did not show up here because why the fuck would he help LA Knight? Braun hits another spear in the ring, and he pins LA Knight 1, 2, 3. thanks to Seth Rollins and the interference. Because Braun Breaker beat LA Knight because he's a fucking geek. Rollins and Braun attacked LA Knight. Jey Uso runs out. Yeet makes the save. Jey hit Rollins with a super kick. Turned his attention to Braun Breaker. Rollins grabbed him and hits a fucking pedigree that looked awful. They all look awful. I hate when people don't take a flat-chested, face-first pedigree. I do. Like, don't even do it. Happens every single fucking time. People don't know how to take moves. They don't. It's not the only move that it happens with. Pedigree is just the most fucking egregious. This is the head of creative's finishing move, and nobody knows how to sell it. Pedigree on Jey Uso. CM Punk finally enters. His music is playing. His music stops. And the UK crowd is singing every lyric of CM Punk's theme music after they cut the song. Again, the UK crowd is great. Sounded great. Felt great. Punk must have felt happy. If there is an entrance that you really want sung, leave it to the United Kingdom to do it right. They did it last night with Alter Bridge when they sang Copeland to the Ring and sang Metalingus. The UK audiences do it right. The American audiences don't know shit. They did it right here with fucking Cult of Personality. So they start singing his song and they're having a good time. Punk posted Braun against the steel. Punk attacked Rollins, but Braun pulled Rollins out of the ring to safety. And then the crowd they stopped singing Punk's theme, and they started chanting, "Seth's a pussy." Again, UK definitely is going to let you know how they feel, bro. Punk helped Jey to his feet. Knight confronted Punk. Jey tried to settle them down. Knight brushed him off. Punk and Knight started getting into it where they started trading fists. Punk shoved Knight into Jey. Punk then grabbed Knight for GTS. Knight slipped out, stumbled towards Jey. He laid Knight out with a super kick, did Uso. Jey then stood next to Punk and laid Punk out with a super kick. Rollins is cackling in the distance up the aisleway. Braun Breaker's looking on, and he's telling Braun Breaker, look, they're doing it to themselves. They're doing it to themselves, he says. Rollins, after Jey laid everybody out, held up the title, starts looking at Jey Uso, and he starts teasing him with the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey yeeted with the crowd, and the show goes off the air. LA Knight not only looked like a geek in the match because he let Rollins and the interference get to him, he looked like a geek here because he was about to be GTS'd. He slips out. Jey Uso took advantage of that. Hits LA Knight with a super kick. He looked like a geek twice. He did not look good here. He did not. I genuinely think that Jey Uso is in this match to take the pinfall. I do not think that LA Knight is taking the pinfall. I do not think Punk is taking the pinfall. I think Rollins is pinning Uso, and I think Rollins is going to retain the title by pinning Jey Uso. If there is another guy that is taking the pinfall, then we look to LA Knight. But I just don't see them beating LA Knight after what we saw here. That was Monday Night Raw. That's all you got. He's a geek. Yeah. That's all we got on Monday night, man. Very, very safe episode of Monday Night Raw. The go-home show before Clash in Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are sponsored by my new sponsor, Taylor. Make sure you guys sign up by using the link that I provided in the description of this very video. Save 25% off your first month by using code JDfromNY. You don't know what Taylor is? Let's hear it from my sponsor for tonight's show, Taylor. Have you ever seen a guy step through the curtain on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown and they just own the moment? Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. It doesn't matter if it's a contract signing or a street fight. They all look like stars. And let's be honest, you can't cut a main event promo if your outfit looks like a pre-show dark match. That's where Taylor comes in. Taylor is a men's clothing rental service that hooks you up with 10 pieces a month. You can choose 5, 7, or 10 pieces a month, picked by a real stylist and tailored to your vibe. You wear them, you return them, and repeat. No laundry, no shopping, no fashion headaches, just drip delivered. And getting started is easier than a squash match. Head to the link that I provided, not only in the description, but down in the comments section pinned at the very top. Hit that link, subscribe, and take their quick style quiz. You'll tell them your size, your goals, and what kind of fit makes you feel like a WWE champion. A few clicks later, and boom, your first shipment is already being styled. And just to show you guys exactly what you're gonna get when you sign up using my link, they sent me this design curated for me through their styles quiz, man. Their styles quiz was on point because this is a great looking design. It's exactly what I would wear when I go out for a night out on the town. I look good, I feel good, this feels great, and it's a perfect fit, man. You guys can get 25% off when you use my promo code JDfromNY. Get up to 10 styles curated for you and what you like through their great stylists. Take their styles quiz. Absolutely no commitments, no hassle, no worry. Let them do all the work for you. All you have to do is visit the link down below in the description and the link that I pinned atop the comment section down below. So if you're ready to clean up your look and step up like it's WrestleMania week, get in the ring with Taylor, because looking good shouldn't feel like an AEW Collision main event. Once again, thank you to my friends over at Taylor for sponsoring the show tonight. Please sign up, guys. If you guys are interested in that, save 25% off your first month's subscription by using code JDfromNY at the link that I provided in the description and down in the comment section pinned at the very top below. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Super chats are open. They will remain open. And if you guys would hit that thumbs up for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We are looking at a goal of 750, and we are almost there. Let's get into the super chats here. Thank you guys for all of your support. Jamel Turney with a $4.99. When I hear the Judgment Day's music, it makes me want to turn the TV off. Well, that's what happens when you don't have Alter Bridge as your theme music anymore. How you get rid of the other side by Alter Bridge for what they have now is absolutely fucking deplorable behavior. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Me and the OTS family are all praying for you, JD. Thank you, Michael. Michelle with a 5. Does Seth feel like an afterthought in this fatal four-way? The whole fucking show feels like an afterthought. Never mind Rollins. And would adding a fourth member to his group really help it? Do we get more Seth Punk after Sunday? Yes, I do think Punk and Seth get a spot on WrestlePalooza. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of gimmick match. Cornell Bryant with a $4.99. You're right, JD. It will get worse, especially with Disney involved now. Marvel. Cake. You need 5 platforms to watch WWE now to keep up. Yeah? Peacock, ESPN, USA Network, Netflix, and CW. And then if you want to add Tubi, Evolve. Catch 22 and Tyler Marine, thank you, gentlemen, for your generosity tonight. Really appreciate you. Both came in with a $100 super chat. Cornell Bryant with a $1.99. I have go-away heat with most women. Well, if you sign up with Taylor Cornell, you will not have go-away heat anymore. Grant Hanlon with a 5. Close up shop. Dude, you reignited my love for wrestling. You're one of the only podcasts I watch. Grant, I appreciate that, brother. You took me too literally, man. We just mean that we're going to switch designs, man. The beer garden behind me goes away after Labor Day. We'll be back in my mother's basement. We'll be drinking the pumpkin beers and the pumpkin margaritas or whatever else we serve in the bar, man. Pumpkin old fashions. Is there even such a thing as a pumpkin margarita? Maybe. Doesn't sound good, man. I'm not a margarita guy. Pumpkin old fashions. We go into the beer garden, man. That's where we just kind of settle down. We got the fireplace on. Good times. Best in the world, Matt, with a $5 super chat. More counter programming from WWE by putting Stephanie on WrestlePalooza in September. Petty. WWE. It's exactly why they're doing it, brother. Exactly why they are doing it. And I don't really blame them. I don't blame them at all. And none of you should be surprised at WWE's behavior when they do these types of things. And finally, we'll end with this Hollywood guy. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you coming in here with a $5 super chat. WWE cut ties with Rikishi's company. And there is an update on Psycho Stu. He is in bad shape. Bro, I saw a clip today that showcased Raja Jackson being egged on by his Kick audience, where the audience was egging him on to go into the ring and beat the shit out of him. This dude lost his MMA career and ruined his life because he let a bunch of fucking 10 to 14-year-olds on a Kick stream in his chat egg him on to go in the ring and pummel a pro wrestler with 20 straight blows to the face. Where he was on camera, on stream, saying and inciting, I've always wanted to legitimately beat the shit out of a pro wrestler. And he goes and does it. Fuck him and fuck his father. Both absolutely unstable mental degenerates are both him and his father. $4.99 Tyler Marine. JD, got to tell Jesse to start stocking up the pumpkin brews. Brother, there is not going to be a shortage of pumpkin brews this season, bro. The pumpkin brews will be flowing and they will be ice cold all season long, man. Thank you guys for a great stream, man. I appreciate you. I wish I had more to talk about here, but when WWE is this boring, there really isn't much to talk about. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY 206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications, and please go check out all the other content on the channel. There is plenty of it, including my opinion on the Raja Jackson Psycho Stu situation, as well as some other great extras that blew up over the weekend, man. So go check that stuff out. I will see you guys back live here tomorrow with Tuesday Night Titans with the one and only Solid Monster right here on TNT. Thank you guys for all the love and support, and I'll see you tomorrow.